Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Tip Tuesday. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, Katie. Welcome back, everyone.
Hey. As you guys know, Real Estate Tip Tuesday is designed to give you a lot of information, a lot of value in like a 4 to 7 minute video. So we're hoping that it's easy to consume, but it packs a real punch. And today we are going to talk about something that is on the minds of Arizonans quite a bit. And that is the fact, Ryan, that wildfire is a risk. It's a
Yes.
real issue here in Arizona. I mean, pretty sure we hear about it just about every year, or we have some sort of issue somewhere in the state, right?
Oh, yeah. You see it in the news. There's the season and you see the fires. And so, yeah, this is an important topic. Absolutely.
So there is a national program
Mm.
focused on wildfire risk reduction, and it's called Firewise. And the more that I talk in the community about Firewise, the more that I realize a lot of Arizonans haven't heard about it yet. So they're
Mhm.
not really sure what it is and what it does. And I also hear that it's been really helpful as it's beginning to catch on. And what it is it is again, it's a program that helps communities, HOAs, homeowners, neighborhoods reduce wildfire risk through proactive mitigation. So the goal is to help make homes that are in fire prone areas, which I understand they just re-evaluated some of our areas here in Arizona, and changed our risk level.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is again becoming more and more of a topic here. But the goal is to make homes in fire prone areas more likely to survive wildfire incidents. So, seems pretty important. And their approach is collaborative, which I love, right? Get the community involved, everybody pitching in, everybody helping out. It's science based and it's prevention focused. So, a couple of key components, and again, guys, this is giant. This is something you should absolutely research on your own and dig into. We're just going to kind of give you a couple of bullet points to get you started. But the key components of Firewise in Arizona is number one, defensible space, creating a defensible space. So that means removing ladder fuels, such as low hanging branches and brush. Over in my area where we back up to South Mountain, that's particularly important, right? Because we have a lot of that from the preserve. You want to clear dead vegetation and dry debris because that goes up like a match, right? As soon
Right.
as the right components are there. You want to make sure that you're cleaning your gutters regularly so that you prevent ember ignition. That's really important. It's those embers that get in the wind and get tossed around that can really be a problem. And it can get quite windy in Arizona, depending where you are. I know at the mountain, it's quite windy. Oftentimes, it's not as windy in the valley as we're experiencing in my area. You want to make sure that you reduce vegetation density near the home to slow fire spread and intensity. That's really important. The second component is home hardening. So, using fire resistant roofing and siding materials,
Mhm.
installing at least an eighth of an inch metal mesh on attic and foundation vents to prevent the embers from coming in. Remember, we talked about embers getting, free in the wind. They can get sucked into your vents, and that can become a problem. Clearing flammable materials from underneath your deck and around your structures. So we don't have a whole heck of a lot of decks here in Arizona. We more have patios, but you definitely can collect, yard material, extra plywood, things like that, right? As you're doing projects around the house, maybe you want to make sure that you're clearing those flammable materials away from your structure. That's really important. Also, sealing gaps where these embers can enter. Again, they get lost in the wind, they're out there flying around, they can find small spaces to land, and that could really cause a problem. The third component that we're going to chat about today is community level action. Arizona has nearly 200 now recognized Firewise USA sites. that's pretty cool. Neighborhoods are collaborating to assess hazards and implement these mitigation strategies. Again, working together makes a big difference. The community-wide effort significantly improves overall survival rates. So super important to get with your buddies, get with your neighbors, and make this thing happen. Also, we're actually doing it in my HOA. So we're starting to talk about getting involved with Firewise, bringing them into our HOA, having a community meeting so that we can discuss ways of working together to prevent this from happening. So Ryan, again, why does this matter in Arizona? Well, that's because many areas are classified as high wildfire risk. We hear it all the time. Again, ember intrusion is one of the leading causes for home ignition. So make sure that those embers don't have those sneaky spaces to get into when it gets real windy. These small proactive steps can dramatically increase a home survival odds. Firewise participation may also be relevant in insurance conversations in some areas. Huge, giant. So case in point, again, personally, I live close to South Mountain, which was just recategorized. And with that recategorization of risk, my insurance went up, Ryan. Of course it did. And this is all that, in your world, this is all that you need is for me to have proper insurance and you're good to go. Like you and I don't need to talk about Firewise when it comes to mortgages and getting approved and things like that. But the insurance guy and I definitely need to talk about Firewise. So if that is something that is affecting you and your HOA is not involved or your neighborhood is not involved in Firewise, then definitely check it out. You can contact Firewise directly and have a contact come and visit your community. That's something, again, that our HOA is looking into right now. So I know from experience. In closing, Firewise is about preparation, not panic, guys. So we've got enough things in our lives and out there in the world that we can panic about. We don't need to panic about this, but we do need to get together and prepare and attempt to mitigate these issues. And we can do that better together. Wildfire resilience starts with small practical steps. So we don't have to bite off more than we can chew. We can have some sort of checklist or whatnot to work from just to make sure that we're working together to mitigate this risk. And again, I just can't emphasize enough that getting involved in your community with respect to fire prevention and safety is just so important, especially if you live in Arizona. So there it is. That wraps up your little class on Firewise, Ryan.
These are great tips, Katie. I mean, buying a house is overwhelming, and even owning one. You have so many things to consider. You got the AC unit, you got your appliances, you got your water heater. These are items that you obviously don't think about every day or every year, but these are upkeep items that are so important to have. And to schedule every year just to make sure you're doing everything, because you expect the worst, but you got to prepare for expect the best, but prepare for the worst for these kind of things, and just make sure that you're covered just in case the worst happens. So these are great tips. Thank you, Katie.
100%, and thank you, Ryan, for being here with us for yet another episode of Tip Tuesday. If you guys want to check out all of the things that we have talked about, and we have hundreds of these videos, so you can certainly, it's binge worthy. It's like better than Netflix, I think. So hop on over to our YouTube channel. It is at Team EvoAZ. That is our handle. Scroll down just a little ways. You will see the Real Estate Tip Tuesday playlist. Dive right into that, guys. Again, it's small tidbits with a lot of value packed into these short episodes. If you prefer to listen podcast style on your favorite podcast platform, do a quick search for Arizona Real Estate Radio. And there you will find us. Click to follow, please, or click to subscribe, whatever it allows you to do, because that tells Ryan and I, first of all, it gives us a big warm hug and says, yes, guys, keep doing it. This is valuable and we want more. So if you want to hear more from Ryan and I, do us a favor and subscribe or follow on whatever platform that you are watching on, and we will see you next time. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Looking for the right home loan can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Ryan Gilliam, an Arizona native with 20 years of experience helping families find the best mortgage solution for their needs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or refinancing, I make the process simple, stress-free, and tailored just for you. I help you access better rates, offer guidance tailored to your goals, and make the mortgage approval process easier every step of the way. Your best mortgage starts with the right partner. Let's make your home goals happen. Reach out today.